All right, next up, and we really got to fly. SSF goes open source after 15 years. Finally, Shima. Like, okay, and I mean, how? It's like at this point, it can't not. This can't not happen and not look like somewhat desperate, because it's like in recent years, these other emulators have been overtaking SSF. You know, not only are they multiple.
Right?
Sorry.
I think the biggest one is probably Yabuse. Or Yabuse, how do you pronounce it?
Yabuse, or Yabasanshiro, the variations. Well, you've got so you got the Yaba emulator. You've got Mednafen or Mednafen, however you want to say that. You've got Loud Garbage Truck in the background. I hope that doesn't bleed through. You've got okay, so you got BizHawk, right? You got Kronos. You've got all the old crappy Saturn emulators that nobody cares about, but they exist. You've got some kind of Saturn emulation on MAME, right? Is there? And there. Oh, and there's RetroArch. So I mean, there's like so many different options, and all open source, or most of them open source. And so, you know, as a result, you've got them on multiple platforms too. So it's like anybody who's a Mac user, Android, iOS, they haven't even been looking at SSF over the years. It's only really been an option for Windows users, and it has been a good option for testing compatibility wise. You know, if you come down here, you can see that the compatibility is pretty high when it comes to each chip. But I mean, it could always be better, right? And it could always be better. Can always be better. And now that it's open source, hopefully it will, because, you know, folks will hopefully take it and run with it if it isn't too late. You know, if folks aren't just like, yeah, you know, maybe 5 years ago I would have, but now I'm like fully entrenched in like these other projects or whatever. So we'll see if folks take this thing multi-platform, and if they're able, or if they maybe will just like rob it and just like take some of the things that it's doing and use them for other projects, which is also possible as well. So
I really hope it's used towards the FPGA implementation of the Saturn. I think that'd be very useful for it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And you know, one thing I noticed where it's lacking the most is in the CD block, which is only 85%. And I was curious. Professor Abrasive, he donated a lot of the information that he gleaned through, you know, working on Satiator to help emulation projects, right? I think the Yaba branch, or Yaba Sanshiro. So I wonder if those ones have a higher level of CD block accuracy than this one, just because privy to different information.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, no, it's interesting though. I'm kind of interested to see where the information goes, and I'm glad it's been made open source so that people could analyze it and maybe make changes to it to make it better. And you know, you never know, it might be the biggest one if it plays its cards right, or there's a fork to it.
Truth is, it needed this in order to live, though. Definitely, like it was almost a make or break time. I can only imagine. You know, he's one guy. He's been doing this for 15 plus years. It was really like 2006 when it was able to like play games with play commercial games with compatibility, but he was working on it before then. And it's like he's been doing all the updates himself, but he hasn't updated it in the last 3 years. So it's like he kind of needed to do this if he wanted this thing to have legs and keep going. Otherwise it would just be relegated to like the Jiris and the Saturno, or what was that other one, Cassini? There's been so many Saturn emulators over the years that just kind of fizzled out. You know, I didn't want
to.
Yep. Respect. And then I guess to round things out, I just wanted to let folks know that like I said, I hadn't been able to write a proper article about this, but man, XL2 has been making strides with Hellslave, of course, just getting everything working smoother. He's released some videos on his YouTube channel you guys should go check out, with showing the lighting effects for the capture the flag. He's got the towers, he's using the infinite plane to draw like the planet Earth, and you're floating over in outer space, floating on these platforms, and on satellites or whatever, and it's just really, really sick. And then the deathmatch mode, just not just the lighting going on and everything, but just like the absolute chaos and mayhem going on, and how fluid it runs. I swear, it runs so great. Have you seen it, Pat?
A little bit. Didn't he mention he has bots implemented too in some aspect?
Yes, yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's a number of things he has going on, but the bots, yeah, is one of them, and some kind of AI. I'm not exactly sure. Like, I'm not exactly sure how he's doing his AI, but I mean, it works. Like he demonstrated several rounds where he took out quite a few bots, and then also he got his ass handed to him quite a few times. So it's like, it looks like promising for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited to play it and see what progress he's made, and hopefully we'll be able to get that demos going soon for that and explore the magical changes he's made to the game.
The promise is an 8-player deathmatch, right? I believe that's what he said. 8-player deathmatch. That's 2 multi-taps.
Jeez.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
He's gonna need a microscope to be able to see all the players on that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, like how. Well, actually, if he implements the link, the Tyson link, then I think that's how he's gonna do it. It's 4 on each side. It would be 4 on each side then. With the Tyson cable. And I think that Emerald was talking about some link cable functionality as well with their game, but folks, correct me if I'm wrong. I see so many things mentioned in these Discord servers that it's hard sometimes to keep heads or tails, make heads or tails of them. But anyway, it's very exciting, and it's just, when that... Sorry?
Sorry. Just a quick note to comment on what you said. I haven't been trying to advertise this too much outside the community.
Okay.
Because it's very much a work in progress, and
sure.
We're dependent on Waterfuel for figuring out the netcode, or at least the basics of netcode, to actually get the modem to talk.
Right.
But the idea with the Tizen cable is a high bandwidth modem, like an order of magnitude more bandwidth than we'd get with the Netlink. And
I gotcha.
If that gets figured out, then presumably XL2 and I would be able to add online functionality. But that's not a certainty.
It's like a concept right now. But I mean, the fact that you guys are even thinking along those lines is still exciting. And yes, very much like that. I probably shouldn't have said anything, but still, I think it's exciting that you guys are even discussing that kind of stuff. That's awesome.
There's been lots of arguments regarding whether or not we should even try for the yeah. But we can talk about it more during the gameplay segment. I just wanted to comment on that since you brought it up.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for always. I always appreciate folks providing clarity and clarification to things. Because I want to make sure that we report things accurately for sure. So, but thank you, Emerald. Appreciate it.
And that's why we got this chat open, so we can have people like Emerald and Night Dragon comment on us when we make mistakes or when they want to tell something really cool.
Absolutely.